Good evening, Zelda Rando fans, and welcome to another Link to the Past Randomizer Daily Race. My name is Radical Sniper 99, and tonight I am joined by Zethno. Hello.
Hey, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
Doing pretty well. I am looking forward to seeing how this turns out. The settings, these tournament settings, are always fun to watch with the hard pool, giving our runners less armor, less health. It's always interesting to see kind of how that pans out.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of these practice seeds. I'll call them practice seeds, but this is a great opportunity for all of our runners to get ready for the main tournament starting in just about 2 weeks. 2 weeks from yesterday will be the first qualifier. So if you're unfamiliar with this mode, it is hard standard. It's a standard start and then a hard item pool. So as you were saying, less swords, you can have a maximum of tempered sword, no silver arrows, no armor upgrades, 14 hearts, maximum of fire shield. So slightly reduced.
To me, it's always the fact that our runners are in the green mail and a lot less on the max hearts. It makes some of the bosses a little bit more difficult, creates some issues there for the runners.
And we've got our starting weapon for this seed, so we are going to have Cane of Samaria strats. This is a good middle kind of weapon to work with. Nothing too difficult. Plenty of magic. It really doesn't take much to get through escape. So they'll also have the ability to kind of try to grind for a bomb.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm not sure. I kind of missed what the drops on the guards there were.
I did see a full magic drop on one of those guards. I don't know if that was the first item drop or the second. If it was the first, then that would indicate guards are on the magic pool.
Yeah, okay. I guess we'll find out as they go through it.
Yeah, the fact that Fear is pretty much completely disregarding the guards right now tells me that might be the case, because I think I saw the full magic on a Fear Agent side.
Oh, a bow. Yeah, the thing is, I don't think anything with full magic has a bomb drop, does it?
The specialty pack actually does. That is usually a heart, a fairy, full magic, 20 rupee, and an 8 bomb. But the full magic is not one of the first items in that pack.
Yeah, that's where I was like, to get it in that first room in the uncle's hallway. If you get it in that hallway, there's no way that you're getting a bomb in that pack.
So yeah, there are 2 prize packs as you go through the standard escape. One of them is the guards and the snakes, and then the other one is on the rats. So we're kind of left down to waiting on the rats.
So I guess we'll see how that goes. Our runner's having 2 options for weapons here, including because first chest they opened in Link's house was 10 arrows, which was actually pretty good considering we found that bow right away.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll see it. We're seeing it used on Wallkicks' side for that ball and chain guard. But they have plenty of magic still to grind out the rats to see if maybe we're going to get it.
Fear Agent forgetting to pick up the key before opening the lock.
So yeah, if you're unfamiliar with the standard start, there is a set of 6 or 7 weapons. Bow, fire rod, sword, hammer, Cane of Samaria, and Cane of Burna are all possible starts. Cane of Samaria is generally a pretty easy escape compared to some of them. Oh, and I forgot bombs. Sorry.
Bombs is the one I never like seeing. It's not that difficult, but if you just mess it up in places, it just feels really awkward.
Yeah, and I think most runners would say their least favorites are probably bombs and Burna. Bombs just because it can be, like, if you're not very practiced, sometimes those bomb kills can get a little rough on the guards. And of course, Burna, it's just such a limited source.
Well, Burna would be something, yeah. I don't think I've actually gotten a Burna one.
Yeah, the hard part when you get Burna usually is just having enough magic to actually go for a couple of extra kills. What you commonly find is you just don't get enough. Unless you get a bomb drop really early, you're not going to have the ability to grind out kills.
Speaking of grinding out kills, we are about to walk in on Wallcake's side into the area with the rats.
Yeah, so we'll see how many. He's pulling out the Cane of Samaria, so I'm guessing we're going to see some rat kills just in case it is in there. And yeah, blue rupee, so I believe that means no.
Yeah, blue rupee's a no, if that was the first drop. So our runners will be coming back. Yeah, it was the first drop. Ooh, rupee pack. Fear Agent just got about 6 rats at the same time, so that was very clear.
Yeah, and we did get that 300, so I wouldn't even think to see the runners really try to grind out extra kills for money at this point.
No, not with that much cash. Always nice to get a little bit of cash up front. You're not worrying about things like bottle vendor, or if you end up needing to buy bombs at Kakariko because the game hasn't given you any.
And that was a close call on Gamma's side, by the way. I know.
Oh.
Down to half a heart.
And
actually same with Fear Agent.
Green on Hera, red on Eastern, and I don't know what Desert was.
I think Desert was just a regular crystal, actually.
That was fast. I don't know how. Okay, yeah, it was a regular crystal. I don't know how Wallkick saw anything on that screen.
I think there's just a certain level of, you train yourself to look quick and know.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's just it's so impressive to watch some of these runners when they instantly just close it as soon as it opens. I needed to watch the restream, and I still missed one. Although I wasn't really ready for him to do it the first time, so.
We did get a check of our, I believe that would have been a tier 2 tree pull on Fear Agent side, just hearts. And also checking out what our bush crabs are with some arrows.
I mean, helpful considering we have a bow. Normally this early in the game, that's not particularly useful. We have some divergence. Gamma is going a different direction.
Yeah, I gotta buy some bombs from our Lake Hylia shop. And check out what's on Lake Hylia. Just some money. And actually, Etiem's doing the same. Not going to head into CAC from the north side.
I didn't notice the pallet shuffle on Etiem's side until now. I guess in Escape it's harder to tell, but...
Now, it does look like Gamma's going to head straight for Eastern. Crystal Dungeon, I fully expect Gamma's going to be able to clear this one, so we'll be able to get a lot from this area.
Getting a good B from the bottle vendor? Fear Agent lets it go, gets his $100 back. That's one of the weird things. You can let go a good B near the bottle vendor or give him a fish, and you'll get a prize. But generally, you don't have a good B in that area, and unless you're playing Randomizer, you're not walking a fish from the dam.
And we just got 2 very important pieces of info here. Gamma finding the Moon Pearl in Sahasrara's closet, while Etiem sees the hook shot in the library.
Wow.
So, yeah, we've got quite a bit to do here. A lot of information.
That does mean boots will be required somewhere.
We also have a cape in the back of the well.
Oh, a sword. Wall kicks on the well. Swords are very nice. Okay, yeah, chat's already calling me out. We logically need a hook shot. So we logically need the boots.
I mean...
Wait.
We don't even need to talk about hovering. I see all this talk of hovering. You just do a mold.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah. Well, I mean, hovering isn't particularly going to help all that much anyways, because you need the boots you need the boots to hover, and if the boots are locking the hook shot, we at minimum still need to get the boots, which is what I said in the first place. Didn't occur to me. Unless someone has a hovering strat without boots, which would be something I haven't seen yet.
So we are getting another trade of that B on Wallkick's side as we get the flute activation.
And Edium as well. I mean, when he gives you the bottle with the B, he's just giving you a free bottle, empty bottle. It is very nice getting the flute in Kakariko Village. My biggest problem as a runner when I do that is I perpetually forget to actually activate it.
Yeah, this was a very nice Kakariko Village. When you think about it, we had a bottle, or we were able to get a bottle and the flute. So this is a full clear of Kakariko, besides, of course, the library in this case.
And of course, we got the sword.
Now, I haven't really seen anything come out of Eastern yet.
Nope.
Gamma's doing a great job with it so far, just nothing really on a reward side.
And our first dark room. He's doing it without the sword. We're using the Canis of Maria to guide us, because that's... I guess he could use arrows. Ooh, a shield on race game. I don't think anyone's doing that today. Ooh, Gamma!
Gamma was able to get that key, but unfortunately took a death. I missed if that was in... That was still in the room where you get the key, wasn't it?
I think so. I started looking at the other runners for a moment. He was too high and left on the room for it to be the next room. That doesn't make any sense to me. And you know what? There were no any fears on the screen. Getting a desert check on Fear Agent side.
Yeah, Flute makes it really easy to go for that Agina check early. You want to try to make this check as simple as possible. So I don't disagree with Fear Agent saying, I've got a Flute, let's go.
It's also nice because you know that you need the hook shot, so you know you're going to get the boots at some point. So it also... I don't know why I was going with that, why the boots are important. Anyways, you get to check Desert Ledge. I have no idea where that train of thought was heading.
I mean, we got a book out of Agina.
Yeah, I had something with the boots and desert, and I have no idea why, because that doesn't... Oh, the torch.
And there were
I think it was just the torch.
Boots and Ether Medallion out of Mini Moldorm Cave. So, Wall kicks first to the boots.
That is very nice. Now, that does mean we can do most of Desert Palace. We still need a fire source.
And a glove.
Oh, yeah.
But
I don't think I've ever been blocked by a glove there. That's not in my thought process for that dungeon. It happens, like, right now, but...
and Gamma taking down Armos Knights. So there's the first crystal, but nothing really important coming off of our Eastern Palace clear.
Yeah, we do have wall kicks, water walking, but in terms of that Eastern play, it works out really well anyways, because it's a crystal. There's not a significantly faster way of doing Eastern. You just get to not do one additional room. I am picking up the hook shot.
And we do get a peek at Zora Ledge, just some money there. It was green.
Now, what does Zora have for us today? Good? Bad? Scam?
I mean, you're going there out of logic, and it's early. I feel like it's never mind. It's definitely not a scam.
Oh, that is about as far from the scam as we could have gone. hammer. You know, that's worth 500 rupees. I would pay that again.
Yeah, and that's a great out of sequence hammer.
Yeah.
For wall kicks. So
no glove, no flippers. Now she just needs a glove to put it in logic and get Dark World access. Still needs to go pick up that Moon Pearl, but oh, we're getting our first mountain check on Edium side. Ice Rod game. Okay, we're getting way too many early items.
Yeah, this is a really kind start for our runners.
So, chat, why don't you help us out here? What do you think is going to be the problem this seed?
Is it rude to think that the problem could be the fact that they have to go back into escape?
Something in the back to get the glove?
Yeah.
So they can't do it the short way? Ooh. We've got a guess in chat of the Turtle Rock Medallion. Yep, that could do it. That could be pretty much anywhere. Yes, the seed's being difficult because they have too many routing options.
It's not unheard of. A lot of runners will tell you, there's almost like this very set way you want to start a seed. And if you get everything really early, you're like, well, what do I do?
Unfortunately, your difficult back of escape isn't going to happen. Eddie has picked up a glove.
Well, darn.
We have, across our runners, we have almost flippers. Like, flippers could be somewhere bad at this point. Oh, mirror. We don't have mirror yet. We'll probably need mirror. Wallcake's going to be heading over to pick up that glove. Oh, mushroom. On Floating Island.
Definitely don't want to see those fetch quests kind of lying out in the middle of nowhere like that. Now,
Yeah,
I feel like we're going to get to see a Hera play here. I think you kind of have to consider just clearing Hera for green pendant, especially if you're in Edium's shoes, Never mind.
What did he find? That was
nothing. I mean, he's well. That's actually the thing.
Leaving. Oh, okay.
Edium doesn't have hammer or pearl. I'm surprised we're not seeing Hera.
How is he going to get to Hera without hammer?
See, yeah, good point. I'm crossing up who I think has what.
Yeah, no, that's with 4 runners on screen. That's par for the course, I think. Now, Fear or Wallkicks could do that play.
And given that they haven't done Saha, they should go do Hera.
Yeah, there we go. Wallkick's doing it. Now, if you know the Hera pod, that also helps a little bit because you can get to the top in the event that the big key is in the basement and you just want to finish it.
Yeah, and they have pretty much all the options. Pick your poison on which one's your favorite.
Yeah, you got the boots version or the bomb version at this point.
And even with the bomb version, you have both methods of the bonk or the just straight up.
Yep. I think we're going for hook speed here. This is definitely my preferred if Wallkicks get to there. Oh, that Moldorm. This is definitely my preferred way of doing it.
Agreed.
Oh. There it is. There's that little turn back to the left. So for anyone unfamiliar, if you don't do that and you don't go with a very precise upright angle, you will just soft block your game right there. Have to save and quit. That's a can of burner. So here, do you do Spike Cave while you're here now?
So for wall kicks, it's really going to come down to one or the other. Where do you go? Do you go to Spiral or Spike?
Oh, he hasn't done Spiral yet.
Yeah, so this is an either or situation for wall kicks, because I don't think you climb the mountain to do the other one.
Probably not. No, that's not worth the time.
Oh, and Lumaga reminding us we don't have Pearl on the top runners.
Oh. Well, yep, okay. So thanks. Okay, good time to plug our trackers. We have two great trackers with us today, Lumaga and Lightyear, who are helping us by showing the items on screen and commenting in chat when we say something that we're not looking at what they put on screen.
Now, what we do know is there is an item in the basement of Hera that our runners can't get.
So yeah, well, we'll get the Spiral Cave check then. Gamma picking up the hammer, so that's 3 to 4 runners with hammer. He also got it out of logic. Still no glove.
Yeah, but Gamma, having seen that hook shot, is going to go get it and just head for the mountain, I'm sure.
Yeah. There's too many items up there. Like, that's, at this point, you can't really complete a crystal dungeon. And actually, no glove yet. So, may as well go to the highest density location.
And I don't know if we saw this, but Gamma's checking Lumberjack.
I didn't notice anyone go in, so I don't know if I just missed someone checking it or just no one decided to early check it.
Yeah, we've just had
weird.
such a wealth of options.
Yeah.
Okay, nope. So it is nothing.
Wall Cakes is going to do Eastern before Saha, but we'll definitely do it after. This is a thing a lot of runners do if you can complete Eastern. You have Flute, you just go straight up the right side and then go over to Saha after.
Yeah. And what you saw there with wall kicks, actually, which you don't get to see too frequently, was a very nice burn-a-dash up through the cannonballs.
Oh yeah, so Edium is now doing the dark... Not the dark room I thought he was.
Yeah, a big question when you get to Eastern Palace is, when you get 2 items and you're already, have the big key, do you go and check the vanilla big key chest when it's down to that 50-50?
So our other tracker is saying that it was checked, it was a piece of heart, so Gamma did not miss out on anything with that death. The thing is, Gamma doesn't know that, and it's got to be in the back of his mind that there's still 1 item in there. If we ever get into a situation where he starts running out of things to check, that could come back to waste some time.
Yeah, just with how many options we have, who knows if that'll ever come back up.
Yeah, so far, unless we're go-moding for looking for mirror, I think, is the big thing right now. Oh, Fire Rod, actually, could be fire source.
And here we go with that green pendant check for Etium.
Is this the first back of escape?
Oh, wait, no, it's not a green pendant check. Oh my gosh, I'm really missing things up here tonight.
Back of escape just had more cash. And it's late, so I get that one. Ooh, Wall Kick's almost dying to those anti-fears. Getting a full health refill, that's nice for the piece of heart. So Fear Agent following into Eastern. Edium doing Agina.
Yeah, having boots and flute, this is about as quick as you can get to this location. Now, I do wonder if the fact that Etienne has the boots and will have the book, does Etienne head into desert?
Yeah, I mean, it's a crystal, so I think I would. You have the glove too, right? So you have everything you need to finish it.
Well, just no fire yet, unfortunately.
Oh, right, fire. I checked for everything else, and I mentioned fire for desert earlier. This is why we have two commentators working together.
Exactly. Instead, Etienne is heading for Ice Rod Cave, and I think this will end up in a setup for the fake, or for a water walk, so we'll be fine. I think Etienne will be getting the hammer soon.
Yeah, with the flute and the boots, it's pretty quick to get over here, and then without the flippers, it is great to get that quick water walk. Really does help. It's so much faster than swimming. I like setting up the water walk if I'm over here, even when I have flippers, because it's just so much faster than swimming.
Now, Wall Kick's taking down the Armos Knights, so 3 of our runners now have their first crystals.
And our 4th is about to get it. Although now that I'm looking at it, Wall Kicks and Fear going into this dungeon with... finishing it with about 8 hearts, and Gamma had 3.
We did just get a map check from Gamma of Dark World. Pendant Skull and Pendant TR are very interesting. We also, I believe I saw a green pendant or a red crystal on Swamp Palace. So this could be a Fire Rodless seed.
Ooh, can you imagine not needing Fire Rod and then getting all the way to GT and it being on the Fire Rod lock room?
We're going to see some great execution of a right side bomb jump.
Yeah, that would be even worse if it was out in the world somewhere, not just in GT. Another Armos fight in the top left. Wall Kicks bringing Kiki over, so we're going to get some new checks over there.
Yeah, Wall Kick's going right after Pod, and it looks like Gamma is going to do a much more traditional first trip into Dark World, checking out Hype Cave.
I mean, apart from wanting a better sword, Wall Kicks has what he needs to finish this dungeon. It's not a bad play to get that crystal out of the way.
Yeah, I think the only thing...
Did you see Gamma?
That
was a mirror.
Well, and that's... And
bits. Okay, Hype Cave is... I know it was only 2 items, but that's the hype. That was like 2 of the last 4 items we needed.
Yeah, at this point, we need flippers and a fire source and a sword.
Yeah.
And possibly a medallion.
Yeah. That was a hype cave. How often does that happen?
Yeah, so we're minimum of 3 items from go right now.
And we actually need both types of fire sources. We need the lighting kind and the damaging kind.
Yeah, we will need fire rod or lamp for sure to beat cannon.
And then we need fire rod or bombos to finish Ice Palace.
Exactly. So fire rod's the best. Yep. Everything else is kind of okay.
We can get a lamp and a bombos. Although that's, yeah, bombos Ice Palace just takes forever. Or it feels like it takes forever. I don't think it takes that much longer, but Bombos is just such a long freeze animation.
Now, Gamma did follow Wall Kicks into Pod, while Etienne went west and is checked Stumpy, and now we're getting a K45 check. Meanwhile, Fear Agent actually went in Village of Outcasts for the start. So a lot of divergence here.
Yeah, now I feel sorry for her track.
We are getting Thieves Town on Fear Agent side.
Yeah, nothing there so far. Both checks, I think, didn't lead to anything.
And we dug up a shovel.
Hey, I buried a shovel out here. Can you go grab this shovel and go get that shovel and I'll give it to you? Very little in Thieves Town.
I mean, it is a crystal, so it's not a bad clear.
Yeah.
And really, this is a dungeon that, like, go mode versus not go mode is nothing. So
no, you're
this is
doing
one you clear quick.
What the only difference might be you don't check the big chest, which is what, like 10 seconds?
Exactly.
So there's actually something also being brought up in chat, which is interesting. If one of our last required items is on ped, then we will need some other items. Namely, we need the fire rod, actually. More dark rooms on Wall Kick's side.
Yeah, going through that dark maze of pod. Had to go up to get the big key and heading back down now to get the big chest. Unfortunately, this is kind of how Wall Kicks has to do this without that mirror.
Oh, yeah. That actually really sucks. Wall Kick skipped the mirror, and the mirror is actually quite a nice item for routing pod. Nope.
Yeah, having to back out of this dark maze. So a lot of work through there. Meanwhile, Gamma is in the same area and is actually going to be able to mirror out from here.
Yeah. I think in the routing of this dungeon, you're using mirror like two to three times minimum. If you have it, of course. And the boss fight. So something to mention for any newer viewers, that this boss fight in the top left, blind, will do the exact same thing the first time you were in the room. Every single time you fight him. So if you know what you're doing, it's going to look super clean. If you know what you're doing and you don't make a mistake. But Fear Agent's got a perfect fight so far.
Yeah, and realistically, if you're just learning this fight, getting through the first two phases of the fight perfect is really what you need.
Yep. That's definitely what I do. I learned phase 1, then I got through phase 2, and then basically I just use the rest of my hearts. I let them hit me and I get my 3 hits in.
Now, what you're not going to be able to see too much of here is Wall Kick's going through this dark pod basement, and soon Gamma as well. This is probably one of the harder basement rooms to do.
Oh god, the room with all the kill room with the turtles is wow.
Yeah, very clean there by Wall Kicks.
Very annoying unless you get it perfect, which Wall Kicks just does.
Yeah, which you might have noticed there was 4 kills in the same spin there. Very nicely done.
Yeah, so there is a setup for that, but you have to know it and not mess it up without seeing your character.
Now, we did just get a bumper ledge check from Fear Agent. Nothing there, though. So Fear's going to continue heading south, it looks like.
Wallkick's having to do the many arrow method because we don't have silvers in this game.
Meanwhile, Gamma is trying to find these turtles.
Yeah, a kill room with enemies that you can't damage with the sword unless you get them with a hammer, and the hammer's got a tiny hitbox and you can't see them. Fear Agent about to dig up his shovel.
This might work a little bit better for Fear, just being able to, we'll get the mirror soon, so might head back for dig spot. Etienne didn't check it.
I don't think it's something I'm checking right now. In his case, by the time he gets over there, he will be at Hype Cave. I would probably just continue over to Pod.
See, the only thing that kind of tells me different is that Mirror will also give Cave 45, and I might prioritize hitting both those checks.
Oh, yeah. Oh, death on Gamma's. Oh, very. We have a channel prediction going on in the chat, what will show up first, flippers or a fire source?
Yeah, the hard part there is we haven't really seen anything that tells us we need fire yet.
Or flippers. The only thing over there was the hammer, but that's not flipper locked.
Yeah, actually, I would say the fact that we have the mirror, hookshot, and hammer tells me flippers are first. And I think that was ether for Meyer.
Ooh, ether for Meyer would mean it's the only medallion that we have.
Well, there's Bombos.
Well, there's
Is that a fire source? Are we going to call that a fire source, or is that just fire?
I think that's fire damage, not fire source. But I guess it depends on... Yeah, okay. We got clarification that was intended. The lighting sources. Something that you can use to light a torch. Although I'm still not quite sure if I blow up the entire room with fire, why the torches don't light.
I also question why Kane of Samaria, when those fireballs come out, that doesn't count.
Huh. Etienne finished something. Oh, Thief's down. Oh, Desert was boots locked. But with the hook shot being boots locked, we knew it was going to come up eventually.
I am kind of surprised by this play from Wallkicks, though. Heading up Death Mountain, I know that the Mitts does give quite a few extra checks, and we also know that there was that item up there on the floating island, but, I would have thought we might have seen a Meyer play here. But I guess not having any fire source makes that a bad play.
Yeah, that's something you can definitely get locked out there without the fire source. I'm assuming Wallcakes is not going into Turtle Rock. He can't anyways. But it's a pendant, and we have available crystal dungeons to complete. Ooh, fire rod on laser bridge?
Ooh, please no. I mean, at this point, I think we're finding that we're locked more by either flippers or fire.
Well, that's fire rod would be fire, right? Unfortunately, the lamp can't be there beside it because there's a dark room on the way.
But we did just get a master sword out of hookshot and the flippers.
Flippers. So, for anyone that predicted flippers first, there it is. That gets us swamp. That's pretty much it.
And honestly, given what we know about our 5-6 crystals and what we still need, at this point, all we really need is a fire source. So I think, you don't even consider the Pyramid Fairy after this. You are just going to pretty much go crystal dungeons.
Yeah, the crystal dungeons need to be completed. So anything you can complete while looking for your item is great. Oh wow, we had one person with 60,000 channel points in that bidding war. But we're going to get a boss fight on Gamma's side.
And we're getting another look at Spike Cave from Wall Kicks. I know we saw it from Gamma earlier.
And it looks like Edium is heading into Pod as well. Gamma getting the Thieves Down finished. Oh, and we got another prediction here that everyone can bid on. Which fire source will we be finding?
Which one are you hoping for?
I'm kind of hoping we find the fire rod because then we potentially see a dark mire.
I mean, we've gotten to see a great dark pod from a couple of our runners so far. So dark mire is another one that's always a blast to see done well.
Yeah, that's definitely not a room that switch room especially can be kind of tricky. Your agent's running in circles around this these beetles. Gets through. And we got our first look at Ice Palace on Wallkick's side. Ooh. That like fire rod on Cold Stare?
Yeah, I think, it's not really specific which fire source we will find. Either gives us that Eastern Clear. Obviously, lamp is required for Dark Mire and Dark Pod, but I don't think our
well, that's not Cold Stare, but it's in the right dungeon.
Yeah, fire lock and fire. So if you're not sure, that means at 43 minutes, Wallkicks is in go mode.
But not in logical go mode. He will for sure just play it through, but technically the game expects him to go find the lamp somewhere.
Yes, who cares about logic in this sense?
Not these runners, but I'm just curious where it is. Like, our runners have done a lot of checks, and especially with the divergence, we've checked most things.
I think realistically, I'm gonna bet that the lamp is probably in swamp.
I was thinking it has to be in a dungeon somewhere.
I mean, we still haven't checked most of. There's some MITS checks that we didn't get. Like we haven't seen Smith chain, and all that. So there's a few others, but I don't imagine anybody checking those. And I mean, Wall Kicks isn't even checking extra chests right now. So, you know, that that Ice Palace big chest was pretty easy to get to. And Wall Kicks just said, nah, I'll skip it. Oh, did I miss Etium actually doing all those checks?
If you did, I did too. So someone must have been doing something interesting right in that moment. And Cold Stare fight.
We're going to get a Bombos cast to start the fight. Yeah, it looks like Wall Kicks didn't have enough magic to get through that. So
I mean, either way, without half magic, it is great to use it at this part of the fight instead of wasting your entire magic bar on freeing Cold Stare from the ice.
Yeah, Wall Kicks also did have sword beams to start the fight, so could have done some fire rod duplication.
Good kill though on Wall Kick's side. Definitely not the easiest fight with Master Sword, but the fire rod definitely helps.
And here we go, Fear Agent heading into the pod dark basement.
Now, if Lamp is in Swamp, it could be something like left side, where runners may not go looking for it. I mean, if Wall Kicks isn't checking the big chest and ice, he's definitely not going out of his way to left side Swamp.
Yeah, and in general, I expect we might only get to see Flooded Room and maybe Waterfall chest.
I think that was a death ward from nope.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate. The turtles got to Fear Agent there. This is definitely one of the harder dark rooms to get.
Yep.
But gets through there.
Those turtles are very deadly. And we do have Wall Kicks going into Swamp.
So yeah, we'll get that Swamp clear, and then Wall Kicks will head to Desert Mire. So really going fast here.
Yeah, you know, I was just thinking, it's been a few minutes since you mentioned Go Mode on Wall Kick's side. No one else is in Go Mode yet.
Yeah, we might see it soon from Gamma, just because, you know, Gamma is also just looking for Fire Rod, that Fire Rod. Or even the lamp, but
you know, I'm just thinking because it's been a while that Wall Kicks has had this, we'll call it a lead at this point.
Yeah, and I think, you know, the real difference here at this point is I would say Gamma's not real far behind, but it's, you know, Gamma did take that death in Eastern Palace. So that's, you know, a bit of time. And then Wall Kicks was our first to boots, really, or one of our first runners to get those boots.
Yeah.
So just a little bit of a lead over Gamma in that sense, but still, you know, not far behind.
Definitely not. There really isn't a significant crystal. Like the crystals, they have the same number. Ice versus Thieves Town is the difference there, but that's not going to be a huge difference.
So we did see half magic in the flooded chest of Swamp Palace, so that's a nice little safety for Wall Kicks. I expect, you know, all of our runners to get that.
Yeah, that's something that definitely helps.
And we do see Gamma actually flipping the switch in the in Ice Palace before doing the icebreaker. Since Gamma knows that he is in go mode, is going to skip a lot more checks here and not even look for that big key probably.
Yeah, you can still hit that switch even if you're not in go mode, because I think the same number of checks are still available, aren't they? You can still do like this whole part the normal way.
Yeah, it's just, he knows, hey, if for some reason the big key's in Iced Tea, I don't want to have to go all the way to Iced Tea.
Yeah.
And Wall Kick's setting up for that Argus kill. Very skillful and very knowledgeable move there, switching over to Ice Rod. And oh my gosh, we've got Tempered Sword. How about that? That's like pretty much everything you want now. But
yep.
So having Master Sword on Argus and using Fire Rod, you don't get that quick kill as nicely or as easily really at all. So you instead use the Ice Rod to get that quick kill.
We're getting close to our maximum heart limit here too, with 11 on Edium's side.
Yeah, Edium and Fear both had 11 hearts. Now here's an interesting piece. Fear Agent went to Ice Palace without the flippers, I believe.
He'll know it's out of logic, but he knows he can complete it. He's comfortable doing it with the items he has, so that's fine. The big difference here is going to be that he will be doing the Cold Stare fight with a fighter sword. Actually, that's a good point. One of our viewers in chat commenting, every single one of our runners has a different color of hearts.
Oh, yeah. This is a really, really cool little piece of trivia there. So these are the 4 different color options available for hearts that were implemented. What was that? V31 or was that earlier? V30. As sort of a color blind friendly setting.
There's the lamp.
So Bombos locked both of our fire sources.
Yeah. Ew. Well, Wall Kicks will not have lamp, so we will be seeing at least one Dark Mire, and we're seeing it right now.
And that is one of the classic ways to do that. You pretty much hold out your sword, walk over into that top left corner, you move down a single tile, look to your right, pick up the pot, and then place the block right there.
That was still very fast into the dark.
Yes.
Especially with the shooters in the room too. So as you can see, this is quite a long darkroom sequence in Mire. Oh, Gamma's in go mode.
Yeah, very quietly, Gamma got into go mode and has just been following very nicely. So we'll likely get that half magic out of the flooded room, and then also get the, of course, we'll definitely get Tempered Sword. And Wall Kick's breaking out that cape for a very easy first part of Vitreous.
Oh wow, last arrow killed Vitreous there on Wall Kick's side. That was a very well done Mire.
Yeah, I completely missed where that Meyer Big was, but obviously a very, very early Meyer Big.
Yep, I was watching someone else.
So I'm guessing we had a Godmeyer.
I think I was being shocked by the fact that we found another fire source in his palace. Wall kicks? Oh, he doesn't have the big key.
Yeah, I was about to say, I do remember the big key was on the Desert Torch, so if Wall Kicks had went in earlier, really easy to just go clear Desert, but had not done so. Luckily, that's a really, really early big key. And there is no reason for Wall Kicks to check anything else here.
Oh.
I say that, but it looks like Wall Kicks is going to check something. Was that just for the arrows, I guess?
Probably. It's not great to have 0 arrows.
Yeah, no. Before you head to GT, yeah, that's a smart little piece of knowledge, knowing where those arrow pots are in Desert Palace to at least get 5 before heading into GT.
Yeah, at minimum, he's going to need 4 for that first climb room.
Yeah, we'll need 8 in total for those 2 rooms, so...
There is that 5 pot in the second room. The first room, unfortunately, there's no good way to get arrows there.
Yeah, the big issue, or the only worry you kind of have when you do that second GT room is, and if you talk to a lot of runners, they'll say, I despawned the arrows once.
Yep, I've done that. I was very confused because I hadn't seen it before, and you just lift the pot and no arrows. And that's how you lose a race. Did we just miss a hover on Fear's side?
That's what it sounds like. So that was this was Godmeyer, and Fear having all these resources to just get through these rooms. Getting to see spooky action as well, so.
Oh, he hovered that. He hovered from the one bridge to the other.
Now, the one difficulty here for Fear, of course, is he's still on Fighter Sword.
He really needs to go get one of the other swords.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Fear's go mode is on the mountain at this point, and
so is the other sword.
Yeah. Now, Wall Kicks is done with Desert, just has Thieves Town to get through. Meanwhile, Gamma has, a little bit of Meyer left and then has Desert. So not a huge gap between them. This Thieves Town clear, of course, not going to be too much quicker than go moding the other 2 dungeons. There's a long path. It just means, Wall Kicks is looking for the big key.
Yeah, and still has to complete the entire back of the dungeon no matter what. As we were discussing right at the starting, the only thing you can really skip is the big chest.
Yeah, and realistically, the other thing we might see is Wall Kicks can actually skip getting the small key in the hallway near Blind.
Yeah. I almost definitely would just pick it up out of habit. But yeah, it does save a fraction of a second. Or a second.
Yep, and Wall Kicks is skipping it. So, few seconds here, few seconds there.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Gamachu has reached that Vitreous fight.
This is actually quite close. It's a lot closer than it initially appeared because at this point, it's a desert clear that Gamma still has to get to. but desert's pretty fast, and the big key's in a pleasant location.
Yeah, realistically, Gamma just has to mirror into desert, get that big key off the torch, mirror out, and it's straight onto Landmo. I think Wallkicks will have a slight lead to that 7th crystal, but not real huge.
So there's a good point. As they're finishing this up, we'll be heading over to Ganon's tower, and there's a prediction in chat. So use your channel points. Will Ganon's tower big key be on the left side or on the right and back side?
I mean, I love left side GT. I really do, but I feel like it just too frequently is on the right or the back. Although the prediction's going the other way, so I don't know.
Who knows? We'll find out. No, when we were discussing that key in Thieves Town and I said a second, I was thinking of it in a different place. So yeah, no, it does save, actually it does save quite a few seconds there to not pick it up, because you don't have to run the entire length of the hallway. So we're getting another scripted fight, it looks like, from Wallkicks. And look at that. Gamma heading to the boss. Just as I bring attention to him, he bonks on the torch, but Wallkicks is done.
And that is the 7th crystal for Wallkicks. Meanwhile, Gamma not far behind at all, coming into Landmo, and this should be a really quick Landmo fight as well.
Yeah, so unofficial guessing game, because it is a daily. There are 22 checks in Ganon's tower. Where do you think the big key will be? So put a number in chat and then go over to the channel points prediction and put in your prediction for where you think it's going to be. What's your normal guess for the count?
I feel like 7's just a special number.
I always say 8, so our chests are next to each other.
Depending on that route, of course. You know, I think you start Hope Room and then decide if you're going right or left based on if you get a small key.
Yeah. Wallkicks used the hookshot to get to one of those blocks and switch to a mirror while in transit to make the block disappear as soon as he got there. That was very clean.
Yeah, I personally prefer this strat myself as well when climbing up the mountain for GT. I think this is roughly the same as heading up to a TR portal if you've opened TR or opened that portal. And I think it's safer just to not have to deal with dead rocks.
Yeah, that's assuming you didn't get hit by a dead rock. Yeah, sorry, there's a comment in chat about the official. What I meant is that we're not using the bot when I said unofficial guessing game. Yeah, look at that. This is like a... Oh, okay, so that was like 12 seconds when Wallkicks went in. So check 1 is a key.
And
well,
yeah,
12-second difference.
Yeah, this is this is a race, and we're getting divergence in GT. This is going to come down to GT key location.
Okay, so 2 checks on Wallkicks side. We're using Wallkicks as our counter. 3 is ruby. 4 is rubies. 5 is rubies. No, that's 5, right?
Yeah, that was 5.
I don't know how I got 1 ahead. Oh, we're getting a Dark Magician strat here. 6. So that's doing that top left room and then doing full right. 7.
Yeah, meanwhile, Gamma went with Hope Room, found that small key, and decided to continue right side. But it's not on the right side, so it's either the left or the back now.
So we have 7. We know this is going to be 8, 9, 10, 11. I mean, yeah, it could still be right on tile room.
Yeah, Gamma does make up a bit of time here. Not having to mirror multiple times, whereas wall kicks, did left and then mirrored to do right to mirror. So
this is, yeah,
we're in the same
5
room.
seconds. This is going to be truly just 12 checks. This is just going to be truly an execution on the climb.
And to take nothing away, by the way, from Etienne and Fear right now, both, in go mode, working through their crystals that they have left. So Fear on his final crystal. Meanwhile, Etienne still has Desert and Desert left, I guess, at this point.
13 rupees. Yeah, this is tight. Like, you can see them, they're one portal behind. $14, $15. I think he was 15. I think, if I counted that right. Yep. Okay, it is 15 as we start the climb. So Kimmy, Kimco, and Zeruvian.
Yeah, and this is really like a 5-second difference. And just like that, we
tighter.
synced.
They're neck and neck, same frame entering the second room here. Ooh, Gamma losing a second. Oh, wow, this is tight. We do have Fear Agent joining us in Ganon's Tower now. And Etienne will be on his way right now.
Yeah, so, there are two groups here of runners, and it's just, either way, super quick race tonight. Very jet seed, and all of them are just, blazing a trail here.
Yeah, like Etienne's a little bit behind Fear on the left side, but with routing in GT, say if Etienne just goes full left, that could make up the difference.
And we did have a swap of the lead here. Gamma just passing by wall kicks through the gauntlet.
But it all there. I think they're both on the last landmo at the same time. Wall kicks missed one. Like, look at this. Like, wall kicks missed that last sword and instantly goes behind a few seconds again.
Actually, I think wall kicks made up a little bit of time because Gamma actually had to burn a blue potion to get through that fight.
Yeah, no, but if wall kicks hadn't missed that, I think they would have been exiting almost on the exact same frame again.
Yeah, true.
This is just tight.
Yeah, and part of this could come down to the fact I think wall kicks might actually have 2 potions right now, and I know Gamma burned at least one, so I don't know how that's going to turn out.
think that'll only be a problem really if they miss torch glitch, and at that point that might be a big enough time loss to cause a problem in and of itself.
Oh, and Plumerian Knight in chat confirming that wall kicks actually use the potion as well. So probably just down to one potion then.
And we're in Moldorm 2 on both sides. Fear is already on left side here, and Edium is now on right. Unfortunately, didn't go full left. Not that we would ever expect him just to do that.
And Gamma heading up that final room towards Aga 2. And wall kick's not far behind. So we're going to get some Geometry Wizard here.
Yeah, who's better at the angles?
This first pattern not too bad. That's a double, it looks like, for Gamma.
Also a double on wall kicks.
Another double for Gamma on that second phase.
Ooh, wall kicks only got one.
And another 2 for Gamma. So a 2-2-2 for Gamma.
And another 1 for wall kicks. 2-1-1. I think this could be it. Yep, that's it.
So a
2-1-1-2, but
yep.
So yeah, 1 extra round for wall kicks. That adds a few more seconds. This is so tight.
Yeah, this is a great daily race tonight. Excellent seed and, 4 very high quality runners showing you what can be done. Fear Agent finding his GT Big Key there in Rando Room.
When there's actually a comment in chat that Gamma didn't go into.
Yeah, Gamma did. It was wall kicks hadn't gone into VOO.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. Because wall kicks did it last. So, but it's even like that's. So he had that advantage. It's so tight on these tracks. But wall kicks did do Tower of Hera.
And Gamma getting the torch glitch there. Really nice fire rod shot to pull that off.
One shot, perfect timing, I say, as Gamma misses a fire rod shot.
So, but into phase 4, wall kicks not far behind.
Another good torch glitch. This race is Gamma's to win or lose at this point.
Yeah, and Gamma is executing those triples, and there we go.
Wow.
Just has that 1x3 bridge left.
Wow.
And you want to talk about a quick seed.
Oh, yeah. We're an hour and 12 minutes in.
And there we go with Gamachu finishing in first place on the restream and first place overall with a racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 49 seconds. Get those GGs in chat for Gamachu.
And on that note, with wall kicks finishing up Ganon, we're going to need a second round of GGs for wall kicks.
Yep, as wall kicks is also crossing that bridge, getting across, and second on restream and second overall with a 113.19. GG's to wall kicks.
Wow, 113 and in second. Like that shows you how fast this seed and how good a lot of these runners ended up doing this. There was just great execution on all sides. So as we're watching the runners, I'm going to remind everyone to later, once you watch these guys go up, don't forget to follow the runners.
Yeah, and we didn't say much throughout this one in regards to, the daily race in general, but not only do we have these 4 talented runners tonight, but there are 7 other runners also running this seed who are not here. So we'll try to take note of them as they finish as well.
We do have Wallkicks and Gamma with us here in chat. GG's.
Yo, GG's. And
GG's Wallkicks.
That was tight. Just so you guys know, before we ask for your thoughts, when you both entered the second mimic room, you entered it pretty much on the same frame.
That's impressive. Like, I was talking to Gamma a little bit right before he popped in, and I'm like, I didn't have a good Aga 2 or Ganon fight, so I'm like, I don't think I lost 30 seconds to Gamma, but I suspect I might have been maybe 10 to 15 seconds behind Gamma going into like Aga 2.
Yeah, it was a back and forth throughout. I think kind of where the lead changed a bit was the gauntlet.
Yeah, like I thought I had a pretty good gauntlet. Like, I
definitely
blew through that pretty nicely. Again, I feel like my time loss a little bit at the end came in Aga 2 and Ganon. I think I 4 or 5 cycled Aga 2, and then I missed a couple triples and missed the 1-in-1. Because I don't know how I missed the 1-in-1. I don't know how my last slash kind of went through Ganon. That was weird.
We do have Fear Agent finishing up Aga, going into the Ganon fight. But throughout the climb, you both alternated who had the lead up until somewhere around Landmo 2. Gamma took a little bit of a lead.
Yeah, I did actually 3-cycle Landmo 2. Yeah, that checks out.
You had a bad Landmo 2? Because I had 3-cycle. I felt pretty bad about that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was really just.
I also drank a potion because I was like a little low on resources, and I'm like, I've got another blue potion in case I missed the torch glitch. I really wasn't concerned.
You both did that. We were watching. It was so synced the entire time.
Nicely done, Gamma.
Yeah.
So Fear is on Ganon on phase 2. And Edium is finishing up the Aga fight, actually. You were all relatively close altogether. We do have a 3rd place finisher, actually.
Yeah, Ganon's Gone Wild finished in 3rd overall with a 1:16.20.
You know what I think ended up pushing me through ahead? I ended up making a few gambles after I ended up dying very early on in Eastern. That felt pretty bad.
Oh, you took an Eastern death?
Yeah, I went straight to Eastern after escape, and I took it.
I'm sorry.
Oh no! After I took the deaths, I died grabbing the small key in the back in the dark room, and I'm like, well, that's gonna be orphan now. I'm not gonna get a big key chest. And I used that small key to go through the back instead of killing the Igor. I was like, I'm never coming back here. Yeah, I'm never coming back here. Went to Kakariko, found the glue. I'm like, oh, well, this kind of feels bad. Then find the boots in South Shore. I'm like, this is not good. And I just decided to skip everything, all the mid checks after I found the mids in Mirror. Like, yeah, I'm not going to do any of those checks.
On that front, I do have to ask, for Wallkicks, how does it feel to go mode Village of Outcasts?
I mean, it felt pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
we'll continue that in a second. But Fear Agent just did finish Ganon, so we're just going to. But we'll continue with that exact response in a second. And Fear Agent has crossed the bridge and finished in 4th with a time of 1 hour, 18 minutes, and 20 seconds. Go mode Village of Outcasts.
Yeah, so I mean, the route kind of played into itself very nicely. So I didn't go straight to Eastern because I do know Gamma likes that play, especially if Eastern is a crystal. So I figured Gamma, once he checked the map and saw that Eastern was a crystal, was like straight to Eastern. So I did the usual starts, got the flutes, got boots, and then I'm like, you know what? I've got Zora money. Let me just water walk over to Zora, and got the hammer out of it. I'm like, oh god, that's awesome. And I knew Hookshot was on library, so I took that up the mountain, got glove. I actually did clear Hera. I don't know if you did Gamma, so I don't know if maybe that is a little bit of our time separation, or at least maybe made up your death or whatever. But then after that, that's when I did Eastern, got my Moon Pro, so I had Dark World access. I'm like, all right, let me just go into Pod. I didn't know at the time that Pod was a crystal, but it was, so I just finished Pod. Went to do my usual Hype Cave start, got Mitts and Mirror. I'm like, okay, we don't need to worry about Village right now. I checked my Meyer Medallion to see what I needed and kind of got Bombos from there. I think I went up the mountain after that again to get Flippers, and I'm like, all right, I'm a fire source from Go mode. So I was like, let me just do Ice. The plan was to do Ice, Swamp into Pyramid Fairy. And then I just picked up Fire Rod and First Chest Ice Palace, and that was it.
So just to come back to our stream right now with our last runner, Edium actually did miss the Torch Glitch, but has completed and finished the Ganon fight.
And also, we are joined by Fear Agent here. GG's.
Yo, GG's, Fear.
Fear Agent. And Edium's official time was 1 hour, 20 minutes, and 16 seconds. I have to ask Fear Agent, how does it feel to be the only restreamed runner with a lamp?
Terrible, I guess.
You found a lamp,
What was
Fear?
the lamp?
That's what I was expecting. It was a nice palace.
Oh my gosh, both fire sources in there.
So if that's the case, that had to have been Ice Tea Room or Big Chest, I guess.
And yeah, well, kicks. I ended up skipping out Hera because I got Dark World access. Well, that's not going to be touched. I'm good without it.
Yeah, fair.
We also did get a 6th place finish from Moogle Charm with a 1:21.13.
And we have Edium in the booth with us as well. GG's.
Yeah, GG's. It's a pretty straightforward seed. I don't know. I thought I was doing pretty well, so I was a bit surprised to lose by 8 minutes, but yeah, what can you do?
Yeah, no, it was a great run from all 4 of our restreamed runners tonight. 4 of the first 5, and this really just was a purely jet seed across the board.
Yeah, I guess probably maybe if you started at Thieves Town instead of Hype Cave, you'd probably skip all the Smith Chain and all the mirror checks and stuff, because those were, I think, all nothing.
Yeah, I didn't even touch the village. Like, I was in Go mode before I went to the village. Thieves Town was my 7th crystal, and I just Go moded it.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense then. I did Hype Cave up to Thieves Town, then Pod, and I also checked the Mire area before going up to the mountain. And then I did go to Ice first before Swamp, so that felt good, but I guess most people did that.
Probably. I was a little worried after I had gotten my Go mode Fire Rod. I'm like, okay, now I'm on Master Sword with no half magic and like 9 hearts. I didn't check much, to be fair. Like, I didn't think I was going to hit Go mode in Ice Palace, and I didn't realize I was in Go mode until I was in the middle of ice breaking. So I'm like, oh crap, I need to pick up the big key because I didn't hit the switch. So I did have to scour ice a little bit for the big key. But then in Swamp Palace, I skipped everything until the back, and I got half magic and of course a sword on Argus, and I was like, oh, I'm set now.
Yeah, that was same for me pretty much. That was a nice little care package there. Anyone find lamp?
Fear did a nice tea room.
Oh, what a terrible place for that.
Yo, Wall Kicks, you missed out on the sick book.
No, I picked up the book.
Oh, you picked. Oh, okay, it's just knowledge.
As I say, like, yeah, because I checked I checked the Meyer medallion, and I didn't have a fire source, so I wasn't going into desert, but I did the checkerboard in Agina, so I did pick up that book, and I even checked Ether Tablet and got a nice heart piece for it. But no, GG's,
I'm just curious.
Oh, go ahead.
Was there an item in Hera Basement?
Yes, there was.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I don't think we saw it, but
I never touched any of the pendants.
I turned in my green pendant after completing Eastern Palace. So before I picked up my Moon Pearl, I had turned in green pendant.
What? How did you have time to do Hera? And still beat me by 7 months. What the hell?
So as I was saying before you popped in, when I got my boots, this is before I had done Eastern, I was like, okay, I've got Zora money, so let me just water walk up to Zora. And so I picked up the hammer off of Zora before I had done Eastern. I'm like, hammer, hook shot, I'm just going to go up the mountain. Picked up the hook shot, went up the mountain, all before the Eastern area. And so I was there and did Hera.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
I had the hammer at like 15 minutes.
Yeah. I think I got the only thing I had left before I found the hammer was desert.
Oh, you didn't water walk after Ice Rod Cave?
Oh, I just put off Ice Rock Cave till later.
Oh.
Then I water walked. I went and did Eastern and a couple other things first.
Okay. I guess the other thing is any other general thoughts on the seed? We had a good laugh on comms here when we realized that the digging game led to the shovel.
That's really good.
I'm just a little annoyed that I started at Hype Cave and got the mitts and mirror, and then all the extra crap I cleared in the Dark World was just nothing. So
that is a little unfortunate.
I would have just skipped all that stuff. So I'm a little salty about that, but whatever, it was a fun race.
Yeah, I think that Destiny Eastern was kind of a blessing just because it made me just gamble all that garbage that's as a nothing of importance.
All right, cool. So you died in Eastern and you beat us by 6 minutes. Is that what I'm gathering? You died in Eastern and you beat me by 6 minutes.
Well, it was a lot of checks I ended up skipping out, to be fair.
Cool.
I also missed the torch glitch. That cost me the sub 120.
That's unfortunate. But yeah, GG's to everyone. And again, thanks for putting on the restream. Not gonna lie, Gamma, I thought I played well enough to win. So
well, so did I, and you guys both
you for getting me by 30 seconds. But no, I mean, that's a great race. I don't feel bad about it. Just like, dang, I still can't beat Gamma.
I need to watch this back. No, but that sounds like a good race. Yeah,
for sure.
GG's to Wii, Wallkicks, Idiom, and Fear, and everybody on the race. Thanks again for comms and all that. Appreciate it.
Yeah, GG's. Thanks, volunteers.
Yeah, definitely a great race from our end to watch. Any of you guys decide to watch it back, a lot of great play across the board. Watching all the dark rooms from all of you, amazingly done.
And a lot of divergence as well.
Yeah.
There was a lot, like everyone did almost completely different routes until towards the end, once everybody was in go mode and went through all the dungeons.
Just some kind of bookkeeping in some regards. We did get 7th place Plasma Kappa with a 124.05 and Jocelyn Sauce in 8th with a 124.18. So yeah, very jet across the board on this one. Anytime you get sub 90s, oof.
Man, it still doesn't feel good.
Sorry, Fear.
Yeah, it's.
Imagine getting a 118 feeling good, and then you see finishes like 5 minutes before. That's like the worst feeling.
I mean, honestly, you had a quick run as well. Like,
did I?
Yeah.
6 minutes is not good. That's a really bad loss.
I mean, I know that's tough, but no, you still had a great run either way.
Yeah, I'd say it looked really good from our side too. It was just a few things and just kind of where the items were. All the checks everybody was making were good. It was just where the items happened to be.
All right, guys. I'm going to head out, though. Thank you, guys, for the restream again, and GG's to everyone.
Yeah, so unless anyone has any final thoughts, we'll start our wrap-up. But I guess we got to thank all of our runners for being restreamed and being here. Please do give them a follow when you have a chance. We got to thank our two trackers today. We have to thank Lightyear and Umaga, because without them, this would have been extremely hard to commentate.
Yeah.
Especially with the routing choices these runners made. It was hard to keep track even with our trackers.
Yeah.
So it's impressive how well they did. So I've been Zethno, and I've been here with Radical Sniper 99. And do remember that if you liked what you saw today, do follow the Speed Gaming channel that we're on right here, as well as Speed Gaming 2 through 6.
Yeah, and just so everybody's aware, always plenty of speed gaming or speed running content coming up. And we've got some interesting races the rest of this week with the Link to the Past dailies. This one's a new one tomorrow at 2 p.m. Co-op InfoShare Inverted Key Sanity is the scheduled daily race tomorrow. So really quite an interesting one. Both Wednesday and Thursday, we have more of the main tourney flags. So Wednesday at 9 p.m. and Thursday at 2 p.m. So if you're looking for some good practice, you got some opportunities there. And then Friday, we're having a spoiler open race at 11 p.m. So lots of chances for more daily races that are sure to be interesting.
And I guess with that, we hope you had a good time here with us and hope to see you next time.